Generating millions of dollars online isn't easy, but it is incredibly simple once you know the basic foundational skills and principles and strategies behind exactly how to do it, which is exactly what I'm going to be covering in this episode. So let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Erhart, marketing strategist, and welcome to the Marketing Show. Alright, so today what I want to do is break down for you the strategies and the principles and the fundamentals that nobody seems to be talking about, which are really the keys that are responsible for helping generate millions of dollars online. These are the strategies that I've used for the better part of a decade to help both myself and my clients and my students generate millions, tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars using these exact same principles. Now, before we dive into the meat and potatoes, first of all, full disclosure here, I am not saying that it is incredibly easy to just go out there and do this with no effort and no knowledge and no skills and no talent or anything like that. The things that are going to be required to be successful are the same things that are going to be required to be successful in pretty much any endeavor. You're going to need to understand the strategies behind it. You're going to need to apply yourself diligently for probably a pretty long time. That said, the payoff here is absolutely monstrous. I remember when I first got started in this game and I started hearing about colleagues and mentors and friends that were generating millions of dollars online and making more than doctors and lawyers and brain surgeons and even the career that I had before, which was a business jet pilot, where we were paid really well, but still all of my friends had these online businesses and they were making way more money. Were they any smarter than me? Not necessarily, some of them were, but the reality is it was the strategies that we're using. It was the mindset that they had. It was the knowledge and the skills and being in the right place at the right time and all of the things that sort of lined up together to give them their level of success, which I then reverse engineered. I hired the best coaches I could, the best mentors I could. I bought all of the books. I put in the time, an inordinate amount of time, and was managed to basically become really successful. And that's what I want to share with you here by unpacking these strategies. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about probably one of the most important things you need to understand if you want to generate millions of dollars online. And that is understanding the direct marketing hierarchy. Now, we don't just necessarily have to apply this solely to direct response marketing. This can be applied to any kind of marketing and essentially any kind of business because the principles here are going to be the same. If you want to make $1 million, you've got to sell $1 million worth of products or services or some kind of offer. Obviously, right? So how do you do this? Well, a lot of people get confused and they mess up the hammer with the carpenter, meaning that they confuse the tool with the person that's actually using it or the offer that they're selling or anything like that. For example, when it comes to different software that you can use online or different business models, there's an absolute ton of them available. Software, for example, we could be talking about ClickFunnels or lead pages or Unbounce for landing page software. We could be talking about Drip or ConvertKit or Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign for email service providers. And again, all of these are just tools that are going to empower your business, but they're not going to make your business. The same thing goes with online business models. There's an absolute ton of them available. There is affiliate marketing, there is drop shipping, there's Amazon, there's Shopify businesses, and a quick YouTube search will bring up just dozens and dozens and hundreds of different videos, all of which saying that the fastest path to cash is by starting a social media marketing agency, or by doing affiliate marketing, or by doing Shopify. And the reality is you could make millions of dollars by doing any one of those. The key is really finding alignment with what works best for you, your personality, and really where the industry and where the market is heading. The same thing applies when I hear about somebody complaining about Facebook ads just not working. Hear it all the time, especially among clients saying like, Facebook ads, they just don't work. They're just terrible. And the reality is that's kind of like saying a hammer doesn't work when the problem probably is you just don't know how to use it right. Not meaning to be overly critical here, but Facebook ads are just a tool. It's the operation of it. It's the understanding of the mechanics and of the consumer psychology and of the platform. It's understanding all of those things that are going to lead to success on the platform, not the platform itself. Anyway, back onto the direct marketing hierarchy, though this all plays in together. Essentially, if we're looking at the direct response hierarchy, we have a table of about 100%. So we've got 100% that we can start to partition different elements from in order to determine what's most important. Now, in order to generate millions of dollars, what you'll find is that 40% of the success of your business and of your efforts or of your business model is going to come down to your target market. These are the people that you're going to seek to serve. These are going to include things like their demographic details like age, gender, income, occupation, things like that, their geographic details like what city, state, province, or country they live in, and their psychographic details like what are their attitudes, their beliefs, their affiliations, their thoughts, all of that stuff. Probably no surprise here, but if you want to make millions of dollars, you don't want to sell to broke people. And you want to sell to people that are actively searching or actively in need of the product or the service that you're seeking to sell or the service that you're seeking to provide them. There's no point in trying to sell something that nobody wants. Which leads me perfectly into the next part of the hierarchy, with 40% being the target market that you're seeking to serve. The next 40% is all about your offer. Now, your offer is really all of the packaging and the wrapping and the positioning and the promotion of whatever product or service it is that you're trying to sell. It is how you're going to make that offer to the marketplace, and the key to generating millions of dollars and to having a really saleable offer is going to be to create an offer that is truly irresistible to your market, which means you have to understand your ideal target market perfectly, inside and out. You have to know all of their nuances and all of their thoughts and their beliefs and how they live and what problems they are going through and all of that stuff, so you can craft the perfect offer, which is the perfect solution to all of their problems. Okay, so now that we've got target market, we've got the offer that we're going to be presenting them with, the next 20% is all about the copy and the creative. This is where the traditional or stereotypical type of marketing really comes in. It's going to come down to what words we're going to use, what images, how we're going to lay out the sales letter or the ad, or what the video is going to say, what it's even going to look like, all of the design stuff to it, which yes, it is important, but again, if you look at the overall hierarchy, it's only 20% of the success of your entire campaign, because way more important is finding the right person to serve, putting the right product or service in front of them in a way that's truly irresistible to them, and then wrapping it all up with really compelling copy and really compelling creative that gets them to understand the value of what it is that you're promoting. Okay, so let's say that you've done that, you've got your market dialed in, you've got your product and service that you're selling dialed in, and the offer around it, you've got some copy and creative. Well, what's next? Well, where most people go wrong here is they immediately go to a media source and they try to figure out, all right, where am I going to advertise or where am I going to get attention? And that's the completely wrong way to do it. Essentially, what people often do is they'll pick the media platform first, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or TikTok or whatever it is. And they'll say, this is where I'm going. All right, what should I say, which is my message? And then, okay, how am I going to reach my people, which is market? Completely backwards. What you want to do, like all things for all good marketing campaigns, is you always start with that ideal target market. You identify, again, their demographic, geographic, and psychographic details. You figure out exactly who they are. You then move on to the message, figuring out their pain points, their problems, their wants and dreams and goals. I call these miracles and miseries. Their miseries being their pains and problems and fears and frustrations and all the things they're trying to move away from. And their miracles being all their dreams and their wants and their goals and their aspirations. Really identify those, and then once you've got your market identified, you've got their miracles and miseries identified, then you can move on to choosing the right media. The beauty here is that when you really understand your target market, choosing the right media becomes incredibly easy, because all it takes is a real quick Google search, typing in different social media networks and their demographic details, and you'll see very quickly which media channels, which social media networks, which advertising opportunities are in perfect alignment with your business, your market, and your offer, and which ones are completely just way off the mark. Essentially, you're going to be able to save a ton of time and energy and money by avoiding what I call the marketing wasteland. These are social media networks or advertising opportunities where none of your target market is active or present. So why would you be wasting your time there? All right, so let's say that you've now got all of that dialed in. You've figured out your market and your offer and your copy and creative. You've gone through the market message and media match, and you make sure that you're in alignment there by choosing the right channels. Well, the next step is to really craft out the perfect marketing funnel. Essentially, what a marketing funnel is a visual representation of the path or the journey that different leads are going to walk through, all the way through the stages of having no idea who you are or why they should care to becoming a lifelong and loyal customer. One of the biggest marketing mistakes people make is just taking any kind of traffic and throwing it at their website's homepage, which is overwhelming and often confusing, and the prospects and the leads, they get confused, they bounce off, and they don't buy anything. Rather, what you want to do is, again, you want to reverse engineer the pains and the problems of that ideal target market. You want to lay out your entire process from A to Z, and then you want to get them going from step to step to step, working all the way through the process in a nice, cohesive, and congruent fashion. Now, the reason it's called a marketing funnel is because it's shaped very much like a funnel, with a ton of leads coming in right at the top and then trickling down as you start to narrow down, as you start to refine your offer, and as people self-select out. There's a reason that we don't convert 100% of the people that are introduced to your business into customers. Because in all likelihood, 100% of the people are not right for your business. This is because your business really should be serving a niche or a market or solving a specific pain or problem. Anyway, while we're on the topic of funnels, I have to make sure to tell you about one of the most important elements to generating millions of dollars online, which is ensuring that you're selling a product or a service that offers a high customer lifetime value, or CLV. This is probably one of the most important metrics in all of marketing. You really need to know just how much a customer is worth to your business over the lifetime of their relationship with your business. The reason this is so important is going to be pretty obvious, but essentially, if you can increase the value of a customer to your business, well, you can increase the revenue, potentially the profit that you're generating as well. Plus, if you're able to increase the value of a customer to your business, not just by charging more necessarily, though that is one option, but also by providing more services or different add-ons or upsells or cross-sells or downsells or all of these other ways that you could serve the customer, well, the more that you're able to provide value, the more income that you can generate, and by having a higher customer lifetime value, it means that you're going to be able to acquire more customers for slightly more money, which is the cost of acquisition, customer acquisition cost, CAC. Getting pretty technical here, into the metrics, into the analytics, but stick with me for 1 second because I'm going to reveal the magic metric in marketing that ensures you always create profitable marketing campaigns. You see, I'm often asked about metrics, about analytics, about what numbers are important, whether it's CPC, or cost per click, or CPL, or cost per lead, or ROI, being return on investment. But in reality, two of the most important metrics you could ever have are CLV and CAC. What these are, again, is customer lifetime value and customer acquisition cost. Here's the deal. If you can acquire a customer acquisition cost, or CAC, for less than the customer lifetime value, or CLV, then you're able to run a profitable marketing campaign. And your budget for this campaign should be as high as possible. Because if you can acquire a customer for $1 and they're going to make you $2, it's like having an automatic money machine. And this is where the real magic is. This is how millions of dollars are generated online. It's by building these machines that allow you to put in $1 and get $2 out with predictability, with certainty, and with mathematical precision. Ugh, it's a mouthful. This is why math, especially when it comes to marketing, is actually really exciting. Now, granted, like I said right at the beginning of this episode, this is simple, but it's not easy. Making sure that your cost of acquisition is lower than your customer lifetime value, it's going to take some trial and error. It's going to take some experimenting. It's going to take a lot of work by really dialing in that ideal target market and all of the issues that they're going through and really crafting out a perfect marketing funnel. But I assure you, whether this takes months or years or even decades, it is absolutely worth it and it is totally doable. All right, the next piece of the puzzle is to really dial in your marketing, which means you're gonna wanna check out the video I have linked up right here on Introduction to Marketing. So make sure to check that out now, and I'll see you in the next episode. PR, market research, social media, content marketing, search engine marketing or search engine optimization, pricing and pricing psychology.